that. Even though I don't see he gave me the capacity to record, but I can record. I have a recorder, so I can do that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, but we normally record. Yeah. Okay. Um,
All right.
is there
If
any
there's no
correction to the
correction,
minutes? If not, can we so move to accept the minutes as read? You was gonna say something. Sorry, Audrey. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, that's what I wanted to get at
Okay.
because I wanted
Right.
to get.
So
Hmm.
since as nobody is saying anything,
Well, the
um,
meeting will, I so move
okay, it is
so that we
moved.
accept the
I said
meeting as read.
yes.
That's
Awesome.
Adi.
Yeah, Ajay has
Ajit,
Adi
yes.
moved
move.
that we accept the
Okay.
meeting as
Yes.
read. And I second the motion.
All right, Willie.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm sorry, but I'll have to leave now.
Yes.
So,
All right. No worries.
Willie,
Thank you for that.
right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You
Okay,
can
all the
see
best.
the yeah, and the recording. Just get it to me so that I can do it because I'm not going to be in meeting to take notes. So I'm
Mhm.
going to totally depend on the recording.
All right. No worries.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
great,
very much.
great minutes. Thank you very much. Safe
Right.
travel.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, bye.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. All right. So let's see if we can item by item now. What is there? Matters arising from the minutes. Are there any matters arising from the minutes that anyone want to discuss?
Matter of sovereign or partial sovereign or full sovereign.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Well, where do we stand on that part? I think we should really try to just set ourselves up full sovereign, regardless.
I think let me break that down for people who may not understand what we're saying. What we're saying is that some people, when they switch over to this sovereignty thing or nationalize, for the want of a better word, they feel that you gotta have to throw away everything and abandon everything and then take up a new. No, I'm saying that until you get everything put in its proper perspective, remember again, there is land. Well, let's take it from the perspective of what the command was. The command in Genesis 1:28 is that we take dominion over the land, over take dominion over creation. Then, what does that mean? Man was given, God gave man the power to take dominion, dominion over the land, dominion over the air, dominion over the water, the sea. So land is where you have all of your proper, for instance, titles and all of your intellectual properties, anything that has to do with owning what you own. That's how you take dominion, your superior titles, etc., etc. All that's whatever it is that you own, you take full possession of it by um, owning it in the proper way. The second is air. Air would represent the trust. The rich has over the years amassed magnificent wealth and pass that down and keep it in their generation for ages. We're talking about from like the 1066 coming all the way down as far as you can go back. Man has always been. I've learned the secret of not getting your wealth stolen from the government that used to send the people to war, take away their property. So what they have done is the rich have learned the secret of keeping their wealth in their family and setting up their irrevocable trust and pass it down through generations so that you don't have the fighting and the problems when it's to pass down to generations. Okay? So you set that in, say you have to, as sovereign people, you've got to have a trust that protect your asset Like when you go to court, you gotta once you have those, there's nothing for them to administer because your status has been changed, your standing has been established, your jurisdiction has also been established. And that give them nothing to adjudicate over when those things are properly set out. Somebody has their mic on. Please turn off your mics again. Thank you. Because I like to concentrate on what I'm saying. I lose my train of thought very easily these days. All right, so the third one is the water. That's the seas. You know the seas about commerce, the law of contract. Man can't say I'm gonna put a lien, gonna do this, do that if you're in demand of a contract. You can't be mandated to take no vaccine if you did not sign a contract with anybody to take a vaccine. So even though they want to play around, it's illegal. And so as long remember it's the law of contract. If you don't have a contract with me, why are you stopping? I was hearing about an example today. I know I'm going to a bit lengthy at it, but I'm just a policeman stopped a gentleman, and when he wind down his window, he has a printer in his truck or his car, and he says, "Hi, good day, officer. He says he wants the man to produce you the usual license registration. So the guy prints it off and says, he print off all the things that he needed, and here, $25,000 I charge. So the guy said, what? The police officer, what are you talking about? So, well, you're doing business with me. I went on my window. You're asking me for stuff. I'm giving you. I charge $25,000 for my visit. So he went to his superior, and the superior supervisor said, "You know what? Give the man his documents and let's send him on his merry way." So he went. Officer took back the guy's stuff and said, "Okay, have a nice day. Bye." I'm not saying it's gonna work all the time, but I'm just saying if we as a people know what is law, what is contract, we set our things so that they can trip us up. And I could go on and on. But anyway, the point is, so that is one aspect where you master all those things. The next aspect is that remember this fraud that was committed against you and me, where we were changed from man and woman, that nice little baby, and they turn you into this all caps corporation so that they can tax you, they can control you, you call it citizen, blah blah blah. That was put in effect. So it becomes yours. You are not it. You're not the vessel that they have created. You're not the commercial entity. That all caps name that they have created. It is not you, but you own it. So if you, let's say again, you go to court and they say, agimistic, and that's all caps. Well, you can't know when they say agimistic if it's all caps or they're talking to the common. Let's say you never change your status. You can't know whether they're talking about the all caps or whether they're talking the small caps. But so you can choose to answer to just Agi because Agi Mystic sits over there on his birth certificate and you can point that to them. That's Agi Mystic over there in the all caps. I'm Agi. You see what I'm saying? So, but you still own it and you still own the estate that is associated with the all caps because it's now a business. It's your business. It's your estate. You control it. And that is why we as a people have to learn these things and control it. So, my passport is a part of my all caps. So, when I'm going to cross the border, hey, here's my all caps corporation stuff. And I go, no, 2 questions, 3 questions, I'm gone, coming back. 2 questions, 3 questions. No problem there. You understand? So I'm just saying, and I'm saying also, we have our all, what you call it? We have our, whether you're nationalized or you're not nationalized, you have your, somebody's playing something. I tell you, I get really distracted easily. So please, people, mute your mic. I'm hearing a little beep sound. Who is doing that? Who is, let me see who is that. Aji, not Aji, I mean Sadiki. Sadiki, you're having an open mic, please, and you're disrupting the meeting on my floor. Because
Sound
there's
like a
no
fire
other
alarm.
mic is on. Why some people so inconsiderate. Anyway,
Blessing. So mute him. You can't mute him, Willie.
I can mute him now.
Yeah.
Let me see. Chat that. When I remember how to mute them. All it say when I click on him, I see chat and pin. How do I do that?
That means you don't have permission.
Well,
If
maybe
that's
that's
all
why,
you
right?
say.
It just said chat and pin.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
permission.
it's just so disturbing when persons just come and do those stuff because I get very distracted, lose my train of thought, etc., etc. But all I'm saying is we own the straw man we call it or the vessel that they have created. It's tied up to our benefits or this or that. Say that I don't destroy that. I hold on to that. But at the same time, as a individual, as a man, as a woman, you have your allowed, not allowed. What's the word I'm trying to find? Your rights. What do you call it? The right, inalienable rights, right? You still have those, so it doesn't matter whether you're nationalized or not. Those are still rights that we have. Okay, so I am saying that we can assume our rights as well as we hold on to the things that the strawman possess because you can't throw them away. So that is what I'm talking about when we say half sovereign and half what do you call it half corporation, right? But it's a process because when you're going to go all back to your original, it's a maze. It's a lot of things to consider. It is. You know, I get called almost every day. People consulting me, asking me, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because the class is not teaching them enough. And how do I do this? Even today, spend some time talking to people to tell them this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. So that's what I'm talking about. Sorry to take so long, but I just thought I'd break it down as simple as I can so that you all understand. I yield the floor to if anybody has any question. Oh man, this man is just messing up. Any question?
Yeah, so that meeting is what about? It's my
Hello?
first time here.
Hello?
Oh,
Oh, you can hear me?
yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to talk. Um, I was gonna say, with the questions that you're getting from people almost every day, why don't you just write them down, put them in a paper, and put a price on it?
No, I do. No, you have to pay me for consultation because I said I'll spend some time with you. He said my consultation fee, and I did send him on his merry way, and he was happy, I was happy. So yeah, I do that. But
Okay.
some of our people sometimes they
I
just
can get freebie.
think I must go and study hard and pay. One of the book that I'm trying to buy right now is $800. $800. Just bought one for $50. $800. That does the trust, and that's expensive. But I want to let it become a specialist area so I can help people to do theirs because I see a great need for it, and this is one of the best way to protect and pass on your thing without the excessive probate. Because a lot of people lose when they probate wills and all of that. Because the natural thing for most people to do, oh, do a will and you do the will, and when it's time, the lawyers they dig down and the government dig, and when you're done, those kids don't get anything. That's left, and it's long and drawn out. Too. I used to have a stepfather who, my stepfather father, he had a lot of real estate in Jamaica, but the man never do a trust or a will, and was hell to get that I'll sell some of the place to get just to get the probate. So it's no joke. We have to put our house in order. So that's what this forum is also about to help us to understand that we need to get our things in order. Once you have assets and things, do like the rich, get your house in order. That's the only way you control it. Otherwise, they will milk you to the very bones. Okay, so yeah, I think I've been saying a lot. So Are there anything else arising from the minutes? Everybody quiet as usual. All right, so let me find back the minutes and move on to the next item then. No, not this one. You're not seeing the screen. I think I don't have share screen. All right, so no other matter arising from the minutes. Let me go through next item. All right, next. So meeting or
Yeah, Willie. Yeah.
yeah, apologies, correction. Member from okay, yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just picking up on your point. I got a call 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady's dad died, leaving a couple acres in Mandeville with a house on it, right?
Yeah.
So she's telling me her sister, family recommended the lawyer, right?
Right.
Now, this woman is not of sound mind. I can tell you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any meeting with lawyers or family, she's already at a disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying to her, your family recommending a lawyer does not necessarily qualify that your interest is being represented
That's
because
correct.
they also have interest in the settlement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Willie, I have a feeling that real estate might be sold underneath her without her even knowing it, because that's what the lawyers are doing in Jamaica right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't understand the paperwork. She doesn't understand the next step.
Mm-hmm.
All she does, she fork over the money to the lawyer, not even understanding the process.
Hmm.
And you're right, brethren. We need to understand these processes so we can. Yeah, you're right. You know, we probate is crazy. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah. It can really wipe you out. And then there are various trust type of trust that you can do. You have the revocable, irrevocable. One of them, you may pay a little tax, the revocable. You still are subject in some situations to a lawsuit. So it offers a certain amount of protection and passing on your asset, but the irrevocable now is like when some, let's say you have a lawsuit again against you, somebody want to take away all that you have, but when you have hidden in a irrevocable trust, then you know that when they check your bank account, you have $20, and when they check, look at you driving a little old piece of car, but then you are rotten rich and your kids are rich because you know how to tuck away your things so to keep it out of the those vicious people who want to just take away, and trust me, the system is so designed. For instance, I've discovered that they used to have electives in college and universities that teaches you these things, but they take it away because they only want the 3% to understand these things. So they take it out of, even the lawyers don't understand. A lot of them don't understand the difference between the wills and the revocable and irrevocable and the common law trust and the this trust and the that trust, and they don't know because they just they just program these people with the school to how they want, and they hide other information from you. Plus it also affects the taxman who is there to take everything from you. So when you know how to protect you yourself from the taxman, then you think they're happy? Hell no. Hell no. So yeah. Any other points before we move on? All right. So since nobody's talking, I can't see if her hand is up because I have in another screen. So if you have your hand up, just go ahead and speak. All right. Without me acknowledging you. But I'm moving on. So there are no matters arising. So let us go.
Quickly, Willie,
Yeah,
sorry, a point of interest.
go ahead.
Um, I know you gave a good general um layout of the sovereign or being national, but I noticed most of what like you were talking about like being one partially one way and impartially another way. But in terms of a group, it's not like the group as a birth certificate was ever underneath the system, right? So I'm just trying to get an understanding in terms of having a group formed free and clear under say common law as opposed to maritime law. What's the difference there?
Are you talking about our group?
Our group, yes,
Well,
our
the
group.
best thing
That's what
for
it's
oh,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
go
the
ahead.
best
Go.
thing to do. You finished? Sorry. Go ahead. It's all like you had something else to say.
No, no, no. No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the best if you're talking about, I was talking about an individual basis, on an individual basis. But as it relates to our group, when we've been solid with everybody who is on board, and we seal the deal, then we have a trust group. It can be a trust group because that is what rules the world. We can have a trust group as well, and we that's another story, and that's another class or whatever. But yeah, you can build a group as a trust group, and we look out for each other. We do things together. We pool our resources together. We will our things down to our we have trustees, people who can trust. Because I need a trustee, you need a trustee, but you can't just take anybody and say, "Oh, please be my trustee." No, because you need people, a moral and ethic. Because if I say, Aji, I'm leaving you to be my trustee, see to it that if I pass on, my son get this, that, my sons get this, that, and thing like that. To be honest with you, if you're a corrupt person and a wicked person, you can take away all of that from them because you have been entrusted to with it, with the power. I give you full power over it. I take my hands off it. I don't own it. Are you willing? Not very much. Many people are willing to do that. And so some people say, you know what? No, sir, I don't nobody I trust that much. So and next thing you need training. People have to be trained how to be a trustee because one of the things is like if you're living out of the trust, living off the trust, you're getting an income from the trust. You also need to know how to make the money so you can get the investment and building and being able to eat. The trustee can get something, the kids can get something. You can, so money is gonna be coming out of the trust that you can live off and so on and so forth. So it's a lot to chew on, but as I say, we're just start. Sadiki, you're being a bad boy today now. Turn off your mic, man. Can you not stop disturb it? Yeah, Sadiki? Still did not hear me. Yeah. Right? So yeah. So yeah, so I was talking, Ajit, mainly from a standpoint of individual sovereignty. So all I'm saying,
Well,
if you have not been through the proper process of nationalizing, it's pointless to just go throw away your passport, throw away this and one to the brother there today. Sadique, Sadique. So you might join the meeting, I'm not even paying no attention to as well. Seriously. Sadique. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Right. So you get what I'm saying, Ajay?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Have I made
yeah.
myself abundantly clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
'Cause initially, I was following up from the meet from the minutes, and I had mentioned, and then you had started to put some clarity to that. So I was just expounding to say, you know, where I understand your explanation clearly.
Mm-hmm.
How does it apply to a group or a brand new group?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just explain it to me.
Right,
So you,
right.
you were more talking about from an individual standpoint,
Definitely.
and that we can really go ahead with the group in such a fashion as a trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man.
Mm,
Yeah, that's how they've
right.
done it over the years. That's how why 3% of the people control the wealth of the world. It didn't happen just like by accident. They know what they're doing, and most of it is trust. Maybe while on the subject of trust, I probably should read something. But anyway, no, I'll leave that for now. Let me stick to the minutes. Don't want to get sidetracked. All right, so next one. So we're talking about new business, membership forms. Membership forms. The membership forms are here. The membership forms are ready. We discussed that our membership is going to take a different turn. We are going to be having a members meeting once a month, and that's for when we say member. If you're not paying your dues, you're not considered a member. You're just like, you know, what you go to Costco, then you have the executive members, and you have just someone with a credit card. They are members, but they don't have certain privileges there. The Costco executive members give you a certain privilege with those cards. You get maybe 3% more cash back, da da da. You get the idea. So we want to define our group, because if you've been with the group for a number of months and you cannot make a decision to become a member, it simply means that, well, you're saying that, you know, something, this group is not what I'm looking for, but I don't mind attending the meeting. That's fine. But just know, everybody, that we want to formalize it in such a way that you have your membership separated from those who have not made the commitment. All right, so I open the floor for any discussion as it relates to that. So our forms are ready for persons who are, my email is always there for you to send your dues. And it's not about the money, it's about the commitment. We want to see who is really committed to the group. Because if you're in a group, from as far as I'm concerned, and you're not willing to make the commitment financially, it means that you're not really with the group, right? And as I said, nobody's gonna kick out anybody because of that. But we have to respect the fact that it's just like, say you go to McDonald's and they have a board meeting. They are not going to allow you to have voice and vote in a board meeting on their board if you're not a part of them, right? So you can maybe visit McDonald's and buy something at the store, but you can't visit their board meeting without being a member. That's all I'm trying to say. And that goes across the board. I don't know if anybody has anything else about that before we move on to the next one.
I do.
Go ahead.
I do. I just wanted to know, those of us who have paid, do we still have to fill out the form? Because I think the form has more details than that we should have on file. Is that it? The
I
reason for
believe
the
that
form?
we just use the forms that to just keep track of, we can say we know who is a member. It's just like it's just like for formality. And then there was a part in it that was asking for address, and I said to them, I don't think it's necessary to ask people their address. We don't have to go that far just yet. You know, maybe later on when we have been more solidly based, but for now, I think just basic, just basic. We have your phone number.
Hello, boy.
Sadique?
You have to
Sadique?
push it.
I'm not hearing him. Yeah, he just left his mic open. Right, so have I, Sadique, have I answered your question, Lady Eve, Empress Eve?
No. So that means we all should fill out those forms because we never filled a form before with us. We just sent
Look
you
at that,
the
look at that. Well,
funds.
hold on the Eve. What should I do to get this?
You,
How do I?
you don't have his number to call him or
Oh yeah, let me. Yes, yeah, exactly. Let me call him. This guy.
something. I'm working on a
Disturbing
vehicle
the
or something.
meeting. We told him to turn off his mic and he just left the mic. Didn't hope of disturbing the meeting all the way through. Come on, man. Sadeke, Sadeke.
Yeah, Willie.
Yeah, you've been disturbing the meeting with your mic left open, brother.
Oh shit! All right, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta know to keep your mic off, and because I'm not fully in control of the meeting, I can mute you. I can mute you. Yeah, man. Thank you. Um. All right. So where was
Yeah,
I? Where was
Empress
I?
Eve. Can
Huh?
yeah, we were talking about addressing Empress Eve and the form and
Right.
in terms of
Right.
filling out the form, and she wasn't clear on your explanation.
Because
So what I would say is that
What?
the
Go ahead.
the
Sorry.
the form the the form should be filled out by everyone regardless. I
Mm-hmm.
think the thing is that for the people that already know that they are serious about this meeting, they just went ahead and paid the dues because we knew what the dues was about. But we all still need to fill out the application forms as it pertains to giving a physical address. I mean, yes, you can. I guess that could be optional. Where you leave that out if you want or not, because if we do need that kind of information, once you have a person's phone number, email, all that kind of stuff, I mean, that's not hard to get if we need it for any specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the forms are needed to be filled out, and we have a database of all our individual members
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that for the group.
yes, I agree with that too. That's why I keep on asking because also it's for tracking purpose too, right? We want to keep a track of all our members and everything. And
Yeah.
just in case this website change, because remember every week we don't always send out the website. So this way we have a list of people to send it to. Some people are
Hmm.
on the older list and they don't appreciate that they're getting these meetings when we send them automatically. So this way we can just have specific names.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think we all
Right.
should still fill it out and send in a copy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I yield.
Right. Or like I say, if one person on a base have them, just print them and answer and get the person's detail, just sign, fill them out and just find a way to get them. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to do some online signing or whatever. Because I mean we're scattered for the most part. But yeah, we can work on that. But the point of it is that I don't like to use the word tracking. I prefer say just to it's just keeping a record of those who are in with us and
Yes.
to know who are a member of the group. If we're gonna go forward in the project, we know who is who and etc etc. Right. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, you're
Yes,
good with
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
All right, no worries. Okay, next item. So we can, if there's nothing else on the membership form, we can move on to fundraising. We mentioned that we would like to do an ambitious project that will bring in funds because everything you do in this life you need money. Bible said money make the mayor. No, not the mayor. The money answered all things. So you need everything. Everything is money. Money, money, money. Can't do nothing without money. And the more you have is the more you can do. The less you have is the less you can do. Don't tell me say you want to be poor because the Bible say you must be poor. It's nonsense. The Bible says those men back there was rich with land and all kind of real estate. So he says if riches increase, don't set your heart upon it. And you can't get away from me going to the Bible and quoting the Bible. So all who don't like it can bite it, Yeah. But no, seriously, but we need money to do stuff. Fundraising, um, we need some ideas for some quick fundraising where we can make some funds, Want to grow the kitty. Last time we had $1,060 $20. Since then we have some more with about 30,060. All right, so we that can't do much. But if I have 1,000, is how many of us here? 14 of us. If I have 1,000 and the 14 of us have 1,000, it's $14,000 that can pay down on a nice couple acres of land well and we have that in our trust and we leave it as a legacy for our kids, and that is always maybe one day you never can tell that same piece of land may become so valuable that they give you millions for it, and your kids live happily ever after. That sort of thing. So we can't just think narrow. We have to think that yeah, when you pool your resources together, this is how the big boys do it. I keep saying, with their trust, they pool their resources together, they control railway banks, you name it, all kind of institution. They control. I wanted to read some to us, but like I said, I was gonna leave it for another time. All right.
Amen.
So, any ideas for fundraising apart from the party that you want? Hold this party.
We can start small by little things, you know. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ras Dawit had come up with a nice banner and some different things there.
Mm-hmm.
Create your own flag, banner, stuff like that that members could pay a small fee for.
Mm-hmm.
That will also go back to us, to go back to the group. And whoever else was interested in the banners, flags, whatever, for the TO group.
Mm-hmm. And what we used to do on a church level, we used to have a thing called harvesting gathering, where we give our members like a card, and they go out and they just ask persons for donation, and you'll be amazed at the amount of money that is bringing sometimes to the church. So some people, you just go to them and say, well, da da da, and they'll give you a donation, whatever. So that's also an idea. I don't know if anybody have any brilliant idea. There was some I had, but I don't know where it is now. Put it.
T-shirts,
T-shirt
T-shirts,
sale,
whatever.
that's a common one, yeah, where we can build a T-shirt for the group, and everybody asks to sell, say, a couple of them. We give each person, say, 20 of them or 30 of them, and we ask you to sell them however long it take you. And you sell it, each person get 30 is all. 20 of us get 30. 2, 2, 3, 6. That's how much that, Adri? Put the math. 20 times 30 now, 600 or something like that. 2, 3, 6,
Mm,
600.
exactly. Yep.
Right, something like that. So, it would be, yeah. So we can do like a project and thing like that. Because we definitely need some ideas to do to bring in some funds for us, thing like that. All right, motto. Not sure what it's saying about the motto and theme song. We did say we have a theme song to begin and to close.
I think we voted on a motto, didn't we, about something like United We Stand or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
we united we stand was the motto we
that.
yeah. I think that's basically
Theme songs was
newbies.
there
Oh,
too.
huh?
So we decided on the theme songs too, front
Right,
and beginning and end, even though we
right.
didn't play the beginning one today. But
Yeah, because we kind of started a little formally.
well,
So
yeah, I guess we understand that emergency came up for the president, and
yes,
unfortunately,
yes,
he
and
had to.
I got
Yeah,
late notice, so I was quite late notice that they're asking me to chair, so I didn't have time to. But it's never too
prepare.
late, prepare properly. But
Okay.
yeah, our theme song. What's it again? Adri, you remember what the name of it? With Bob Marley.
Yeah,
About
I'm just
she should have put the
trying to
name of
remember.
it though. She just put theme song. Huh?
I forgot the name. You know.
Yeah, it's something. Let me.
I think Joseph had submitted it first, and then
I should be
a
able
couple
to
of
go
it
back in my
we looked it up.
thing there, the library.
Busy week, just coming in off work, my brain not functioning.
Mm. All right, so we're fine. All here.
One is nothing can stop us now, something like that.
Ain't no stopping us now. That was the
Yes,
closing
that's one.
song.
Closing song, yeah. Ain't no stopping us now. I remember the Bob Marley that we used.
Yeah, the Bob Marley one. I tried. And
Was
but
there one about Rebel?
um, all right, see there. And I put just to inform you that I my
Now
personal
TD customers could open the door to up to 20%
my personal copy of the
off a new home or condo insurance policy.
my personal copy of the meeting. I recorded it with the brilliant gentleman there last week, and I have about 3 hours of it. So I placed it on my channel, my YouTube channel. So those of you who want to revisit it, you can do so. So I'm gonna play the theme song so that everybody can know the theme song. Here, it's gonna the share song. So this is what our theme song is.
So no,
We
so
refuse to
Oh,
be.
you didn't get the song?
no.
When I click on share song. You hear it now? You hear it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you wanted us to be.
One. What happened to this? No. Great one, Bob Marley. So that is our theme song there. All right, so let me move on to get on back on track. Oh, I need to start listening to it. So okay. You not see my screen, right? Are you seeing my screen?
No.
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 All right, good. Introduction of members meeting, social media platform. Right. So what we're planning to do to people, is for us to have social media platform for the group, like Instagram, Facebook. You know, I'm not too into Facebook these days. It's just a FBI place, so it's not the best place. All of these social media thing, it give you publicity, but I see at the expense of these people knowing too much about it. But then, the Zoom itself, I guess, is also a social media platform. So I don't know. What is your take on us utilizing social media to spread our wings?
Point of interest, Willie?
Yes,
Point of interest?
go right ahead.
I'm from the ancient society and we have created our own. We have created our own replacement for Facebook and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it is better than YouTube and Facebook. And you will be able to say whatever you want to say. As long as there's no cursing or pornography, you can say and do anything. All right. So you're welcome to the group, or individuals are welcome to join.
Okay. So
And
how do we join? Where's the link? Do we have a link?
okay, so I could put the link in the chats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I notice
What's the name of it?
Point of interest.
It's called the Ancients Media.
Okay.
All
right. You could just leave the link and then we'll discuss it at the executive level and make a
Well,
decision on it.
of course.
Yeah. All right. Somebody has a point of interest. Go right ahead.
No, I wanted to ask what group she was to, but I think she just mentioned it.
Yeah.
When she said we have, so I wanted to know who this we were.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I am with the Ancient Society. We have decided that just as they carved up Africa in 1884 to 85, we decide that we no longer want to be under their jurisdiction, and we have created our own decentralized cryptocurrency backed by gold. Okay, and we have our Ancients Media. We have our Ancients Mall. We say everything ancient. because we know that real money is the gold standard. Okay, so we have done that, and it's being used in places like Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, South Africa, um, I would say Kenya, Uganda, all over East and West Africa, and it's spreading. We have a few people in Canada, actually, including the International Tribunal Judge and a few others. So we're spreading, basically. But the idea is that we want to fulfill some of Marcus Garvey's dreams, that we need to own our own aircrafts. We need to train our own pilots from the air, the land, the sea. Okay, we need the education system to revert to how it used to be. Obviously, this can't be done overnight.
Trees are now on
But
sale.
that's who we are. That's what we are actually doing. Well, have done. And we are improving, you know, week by
Point
week.
point of interest. Point of interest.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Hudea,
It's
familiar with you.
By the way, it's Hodaya.
Hodaya, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
Hodaya.
familiar with you. I'd like to know more about the ancient coin, but I went on the website and everything, but I just haven't been able to get enough information. So how do I get in touch with
okay.
maybe yourself or somebody else who's
Yes,
able to
I
inform me
know,
more?
brother. I know, Willie. And right now we are we are upgrading the site. The site should be back on by Thursday. By Thursday, the latest. Okay, because we are always upgrading. All right. So yes, it's interesting, you know, because we want people from all walks of life to be involved, because we are recreating our communities around the globe. So it's not just in Africa. It's also gone to the Caribbean or Atlantis, whatever we want to say. It's in Trinidad and Tobago. All right. It's gone to the US. All right. And we have just started here in the UK, where I am residing. So we want to sort of involve our own supermarkets, our own traders, or we call them merchants, so we can go and patronize them. You know, we can go and shop with them. All right. So that's what we are about. Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent work. It's good to know that, you know, we as a people, we are gradually waking up to the reality. You know, so it's good to hear that from all angles, the consciousness is sweeping across the globe, and it's only those who are living under a rock is not understanding what is happening right now. So yeah, it's good to hear that. So you could leave the link for the ancient. Oh, I think is that it you're leaving in the
Yeah, this is
chat?
the one that you can join the ancient media, Brother Willie.
Yeah.
Everyone can join the ancients media through this link. Okay,
Great.
Everyone, and of course, whilst you're on there, I will give you a tour. Okay, and you know, you can set up your group in there. You can have your individual. You can join individually as well as your group. And within the next 2 weeks, instead of, say, having meetings on Zoom, you'll be able to do your Zoom meeting. Oh, somebody has brought it up already.
Yeah, that's me. I'm showing what it looks
like. Oh, you're
like.
fast on the draw, Willie.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have also, you'll be able to make calls on here, and video calls as well as ordinary calls. We have spent hundreds and thousands of our pounds or dollars because we did not want to get any funding from any other race, any other nation. Okay, so we have sold, whether land, property, whatever. Our savings are all invested in here. Oh, I see you're on my page, Willie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, it's the one that you sent me.
That's right. And you know, we have something called Ancient Meat. that we are working on. All right, and as I said, within the next a couple of weeks, that will come alive. But on here, right? When I say on here, you can join. You can literally join. Yeah, everyone in the community will know Hodiah, okay?
Right.
Because we have been working together for years, and this came about especially since the planned pandemic. When because I'm one of the International Tribunal judges, and we realize exactly who these elites are and what their plans are, especially for us as melanated copper-colored people. So we decided to take charge of ourselves, and we have come up with this because we are always joining other people's things. They're always using us to benefit. All right. So we decided that we'll have our own. That's
Well,
right.
it's looking good. It's looking good. It almost look like Facebook, the outlay and all of that. And I'm sure that a lot of our people here can love to identify with these symbolisms, can interact with it. See, one of our is the Selassie, Hail Selassie, until the philosophy which was one race in superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned until that day everywhere is war.
What's the type of
Bob
currency?
Marley did a song from just that.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
you?
very good.
I'll be happy to do a presentation one Friday.
Is this you I'm looking at on the screen now?
Oh, that's yeah, it was on a radio station.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All
No,
right, so
that's
people, you can check the chat and visit the website, and wow, there's so many things going on, man. Our people are active because before the 13 of us was here, we played. I don't even know if maybe I should play it back again, but like, it's not time for our education segmented. Let me play it back again for those of you who missed it. Let me see if I can find it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
really?
after talking to my friend who introduced it to us, I think I get a better understanding now. So I am willing to take back that voice note. That was not for your ear. Yes, somebody was saying something?
Oh, I was asking, what type of currency is it? Is it the Lumi? Is it
no
ancient?
because
It's actually called ancient.
It's called the Ancients coin.
Ancients coin. Okay.
The Ancients coin. The Lumi was full with too much controversy, and yeah, I don't even want to go there, but I've known about the Lumi even before.
There are persons here who may be interested in the Lumi who don't want to hear you bashing.
No.
Okay.
I know all about the Lumi. I know about the Lumi before it came into being, because a good friend of mine, she is actually, I think she's vice president for the sixth sector. So I'm very familiar. I'm very, very familiar with the Lumi. Yeah. We just wanted a currency that we created for us, okay, without any controversy, and like on the continent, parents have to pay for their children's school fees. Okay, it's not like the UK. All right. So with this currency, school fees are paid. You can buy your groceries, your land, whatever. It's used as a currency. All right. I'm not saying that is everywhere and that is the currency in every country, but groups of communities are using it as such, and we are growing. Yeah, we are growing. We are doing very well.
Nice. All right, thank you very much for that. Anybody has any question to ask Hodiah? All right. If there's none, boy, somebody has some nice
Aji,
background.
No, sorry, my
mute
mic was
yourself.
open.
Is that G? All right.
Yeah, sorry, my mic was open.
All
But
right.
yeah,
So,
I love the idea, and I mean, I love the concept and everything with
mhm,
this, and that's kind of like I see some of this stuff like what we're looking forward to in our group as CEO,
mhm,
and and we must reinforce the point to everyone that we're also an open group that we offer no religious affiliation. We are open to anyone who have their own spiritual systems and beliefs, religious backgrounds. We're just looking for people of like mind that are against this whole pandemic schemes, and that's how we also came about. Kind of similarly, listening to her, or as a group, we initially started meeting and coming up with different ways of avoiding the restrictions and stuff that's been set upon us. So we basically looking upon ourselves as a set of free people, enlightened, enlightening each other um, as a group to grow and form our own community, as is this one that we are looking forward to, and incorporate other communities, just like we're being invited into this community. It's the same. We have an, an open door approach towards other groups of like-minded people. So I mean, I'm just commending, in short, the what I'm looking at, and it's beautiful. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
thank you.
So,
That's good.
irrespective of
Mm.
Willie's of anyone here in Willie has a religious background. So I'm just making this declaration also on the group's behalf. Willie has on a personal note, Willie has his religious affiliation. Different people here have different religious affiliations, whether it be religious or spiritual, but we're all here together as one every week, every Friday night, putting all of that aside, working together for one cause. I yield.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. And
Yeah.
Willie and I met on a particular platform, and the class we were in, all right, the tutor knows all about the ancient society. He thought it was the best thing he's ever heard of, and he was supposed to introduce it to the members of that particular group, okay? And he claimed that he had over 300 million members. He claimed he had over 300 million members to introduce to the ancient society. All right. And week in, week out, he neglected to mention the ancient society. So I decided to, tell the class about it. All right. But he had his own, I would say, agenda. His agenda was to get us to open up a trust, a trust, and he became a trustee. In other words, he was being very devious. All right. And we
Wow.
realized what was going on. So we couldn't allow him to be part of our community. We need honest people, honest brokers. All right.
Exactly.
So there you go. But he think that this is excellent, because of the whole formula and the intention. The intention is to get rid of poverty, scarcity is to create abundance and generational wealth. We hear Willie talk about, generational wealth, basically, to hand things down, because we are the only group of people who feels that, we shouldn't inherit until the parents pass away. You know what I'm saying? But this definitely will give generational wealth. And it's very untypical of, in comparison with other currencies because it will never fluctuate. Apart from gold, we know about gold, that gold will go up and down occasionally, but the coin itself will not fluctuate, all right, until we reach about 250 million members around the world. It will then become a stable coin, and one coin will be valued at approximately $1 million. We use dollars, even though we know that America is operating on debt, trillions of dollars of debt actually, but it is still the international trading currency. So that's the only reason why we use the dollar, all right, because it's the international trading currency for now. All right, but yeah, we are growing. And each time a new member joins our society, the coin will increase in value. All right, I don't know how many of us here are into crypto, but it increases in value by 0.003% grains of gold. All right. And yes, each time a new member joins, the coin also increases. So we are doing very well. We are
How
trying to
much is
just
it valued now?
right now from it started off, Willie, at being a few cents, and it's now one coin is now valued at $180.
What? The last time it
So
was
that's why
160. Wow.
It's gone up because we only started in November. Only in November.
I joined, but I still haven't been able to get like more details on it. So that's why I'm wondering if is there any point of contact? Is there anyone?
Yeah. One second. What did you join?
I when you came on the class to introduce it and that.
Oh, were you on the class?
Yes,
oh, but you,
I was there.
Oh my
I was
God.
there.
Wow. Yes, well,
I figured something was going on.
oh, yes, he was being very dishonest. It was so embarrassing for me because I introduced him to our community, and he went on there week after week and lied. And I felt very embarrassed. But guess what?
I know. I saw the whole thing go down. So
okay,
but I wanted to get in touch with you.
Oh, well, I leave my number as well. Brother Willie knows it, but I will leave my number.
Okay.
Yes, I'll leave my number. It's +4 because I'm in the UK. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
And by the way, you didn't really join. What you did was to put your name down, but you're right. You didn't.
I went on the link. Yeah, I went on the link that you gave for us to register, and I registered right away, but I didn't see anything after that, or I didn't hear anything. So I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll be okay now. Okay. So that's my number. I'll also give you my email. The email.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Willie. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, folks. So some persons were not here when we played the video, so I'm gonna play it again. The one from WhatsApp. It's just a 3-minute thing. This young lady is explaining about the reparation. So here we go.
Everyone, this is a message for my people who are.
Are you hearing?
Oh yes, I know her. She's a friend.
Okay.
Cheryl.
All right.
Yeah.
African and African Caribbean. There is an event that we are doing next week, Friday. I don't know how many of you know, but I'm sure many of you have heard about the Windrush compensation scheme. You may have seen literature around, but didn't think that it was applicable to you. Because we know the disgusting things that this and previous governments have done, where those of us that were invited here have been deported, sent back, etc. However, there is a scheme out there that you can claim anywhere between £10,000 to £100,000, and it takes approximately 6 to 8 weeks for you to get your claim. Now, this is based off the back of Empire and also the Windrush legacy. Now, Empire, we know what they did. They went around the world destroying, murdering, raping, pillaging everything and everyone in their sights. But what was done in the transatlantic slave trade and to the African community, particularly those from West Africa, was probably the worst crime to humankind ever recorded in history. Ours wasn't filmed, whereas many were. Ours was not filmed. Raped, pillaging, murder of men, our children, babies cut out of their stomach. We weren't allowed to even learn to read or write. We weren't allowed jobs, but we were able to feed your children. Anyway, let's not go into that history. What it is, this is supposed to be a way of compensating, and I use that word very, 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 very loosely, compensating those from the empire, those from Windrush on the mental trauma that has come about because of what was done to us through the British Empire. I know anywhere between 10 and 100,000 pounds does not even scratch the surface, but it's something in the way of that can change one's lives or can improve one's lives. Whether it's you, me, who's in my 20s, whether it's you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even if your mum, your grandparents have passed away and they were here, you can claim. Even if it's your mum or dad, you can claim. If it's you of my 21 years age group, you can claim. If you have grandchildren, you can claim. Now, we're doing an event on Saturday, the 5th of November, between 12 and 2 at the Unity Centre, NW10. Google it, because I haven't got the full postcode. Google it, because you'll find it, and come down. It's a free event where Katie Wilson Downey will be giving you the breakdown of how you will claim for what you are entitled to, how you can claim for what you are entitled to, how long the claim takes, which is about 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. There will be people there who have already been paid anywhere from 28 to 56,000 pounds. This money is yours. Do not believe the hype. We've got people from the Chinese and the Indian, Bangladeshi community claiming this. We need to be claiming. You need to be claiming. It's your money. Get claiming. And if you need any questions, inbox me.
All
Yeah, that's
right.
Cheryl Phoenix, yes.
So we may have to go claim, but the problem is to get on the plane to go claim that one is a challenge.
Actually, Willie, I will find out
Yeah,
how and if this can happen where you are, okay?
right.
So I'll come back to you on that. Yeah.
No worries. All right. Any other point? Anybody has anything to say? Now we're gonna go into our enlightenment section. So the floor is now open. Any other business that you want to discuss? Any other concerns? Floor is now open for that.
I heard something today from one of my staff about they're holding back all kind of medication for babies.
Mm-hmm.
The regular
Yup.
the regular whatever. They're saying no antibiotics is available and so.
Mm-hmm.
And her friend, who is the owner of the pharmacy, said, "Yep, we have everything, but we are told not to."
Mm.
And the pharmacist said because they know that there is a scheme coming along to vaccinate kids with a certain vaccine. They're
Oh.
going to say that this vaccine will help them with whatever fever, flu that normally a kid gets.
Wow.
So this is from the lion's mouth.
Not
So
only
all
that,
children,
Oh, yeah.
just be careful and talk to your friends and family about it. And try find natural remedies for your kids, if anything.
I'd like to add to that as well.
Hold on, Tammy. Let her finish. Let her finish. Please put up your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please go ahead.
Yeah,
Eve.
I'm finished.
Are you done? Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yeah, so also another thing I heard as well today about the kids is that Trudeau is hopping on board to allow assisted suicide for children without the parents' consent. So this is getting really nasty what Trudeau is up to. I don't
Empathy,
know.
please turn off your thing now, because I think it's your thing giving us
Wow,
feedback.
these people are more than
No, I
sick.
don't think it's.
They're coming for the children.
But everybody who is not on the
Hello,
floor,
hello.
no, hold on. All who is not on, if you're not on the floor, just allow the person on the floor to talk, and then raise your hand, and we acknowledge you when it's your time to speak. Go ahead, Tommy. Are you finished,
No,
Tommy?
Oh yes, I'm done. I just wanted to say that because it's really getting bad out there what they're doing with the kids. I don't know. I'm really sad for the kids. I don't know what's gonna happen to the children.
Somebody
I don't
got
know.
noisy background. Who is it? Oh, it was you then, Tommy. Okay. All right, Chrissy, you're next.
I was just gonna say, like, someone posted a video yesterday on the TEO group, and it was basically pertaining to something like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming for the children. It's gonna get really bad out there. I've been hearing on YouTube for a while now that children, Thailand and all these things are scarce. They can't get them. And a friend of mine posts a WhatsApp picture of the shelves. Like there was no, children stuff on the shelf. The shelf was basically empty. Yeah.
And it is. Go ahead. You finish?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it is a fact because my son has been having diarrhea, constipation sometimes, pain in his chest, pain in his belly. He's been tomorrow I'm gonna have to take him to see one of those specialists, herbal, what do you call them, naturopathic doctor. And we've been hunting for like a Panadol, what do you call it, children's Tylenol and whatnot.
Thailand.
And a no children thing is that we go everywhere and then they refuse to even give them antibiotics or anything. I mean, not that it's good for them, but sometimes they're in pain, you want to help them, right? Because they have an infection. And nowhere
So
we
you
went.
never get any?
Huh?
Sorry, I was just saying you never got any at Walmart in America the other day.
You what?
Walmart in America.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any there?
I didn't ask, we didn't remember. We had just given up the to look. We should have probably looked there. But I saw, yeah, it's a good question you asked. I really wish I had looked, but we didn't. We had just checked all over in Canada and nothing. So technically, it's like a blessing in disguise because these things are not even good for them. But sometimes I have to alleviate a little bit. The over-the-counter thing is a little milder. But no, we weren't getting anything, and I don't know. It seems that the 5G seem to be having an effect on not just them. I had 3 days of headache a couple weeks ago. 3 days, that's very unusual for me. And I thought I was on the computer too much and the phone too much. It was not like that because I went and heard the news that a lot of other people were experiencing that. So a lot of these children now, the 5G seems to be affecting them worse if they're vaccinated, but whether they are vaccinated or not, the whole environment that they're in now is just so messed up and polluted. And it's making them sick, and then they don't want to give them anything. So, this death cult, it's a death cult that we're dealing with as human beings. And it is just appalling, but yeah, what can I say? Yeah. Yeah, but the floor is still open for, go ahead, Odea.
Yes, of course. Unfortunately, as we know, it's all about depopulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is. And we know that it's no vaccine. It's the jab, it's a processor. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when that's activated by 5G, that's when the problem starts. I think most of us are aware of that. And it's so important, right, to get back to natural remedies. Okay. And you're quite right. I think it was mentioned earlier on that what they're doing, and if it wasn't mentioned on this platform, what they're doing is to literally even pay the farmers not to produce as much food because they want to starve people into submission of being, forced to take the jab. All right. What a lot of us don't really understand is that a lot of these so-called elites, there's nothing really elitist about them because they're murderers. They're narcissists. Most of them aren't really genuine human beings. I hope we're aware of this. Okay. And it's all about good versus evil, basically. All right. Now,
Yeah.
religion also come into this. Sorry, go ahead, Willie.
No,
Sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
saying I'm agreeing with you. I say, yep.
Oh, yes, indeed. You know, we have to really try as much as possible and go back to our roots. You know, whatever little garden you have got to try at least on planting something for yourself. All right? Get some herbals from the Caribbean. See if it can be sent over to yourselves. Now, we realized this 2.5, 3 years ago, what was going to come. And can you see why we meticulously created what we have actually created, right? So that when our people are hungry, before they get to that stage, we'll be able to reach them, right? Because we knew the time would come, and the time is almost upon us, really. We are dealing with, as you know, the so-called Queen Elizabeth is no longer with us, yet she controls so much of the planet. All right. So we have a lot to do, and this is why sovereignty is important. Okay. To be nationalized is very important. Okay. We know that where religion is concerned, it's not just the Catholic. We used to think that is the Catholic that controls all religion. Okay. It's true to a point, but guess who controls the Catholics? Saudi Arabia. The kings, they control the Catholics. They are in charge. So we have got to learn the difference between spirituality and religion. All right. But yes, they're gunning for the children. They're gunning for the children, especially because their plan is to kill billions on this planet. And definitely amongst at least one of you should become one of the tribunal judges. Again, you have got to know about natural and common law. You know, it's important, but we need to be involved. But most of all, we need to be involved in our own affair, our own affairs, and get out of theirs. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if we continue to be spending the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, all right, we are just, propping up their system. We need to have our own. So that, say, for example, in Canada, there's a black store, all right, that sells food. You go and you use your currency and you buy the food, right? What Camrel, or probably I shouldn't use his name on here, kept talking about the delirium. I don't know when this delirium is going to come out. And yes, we talk about other currencies, but we need to do something for ourselves. All right. And I'm going to say I yield because I could go on and on. I'm sorry. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
That's okay. Okay. Tammy, please turn off your mic.
Oh, sorry.
Rastawit, you have something to say? You have the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, no, just to add to what you were saying about even the headache and them, something that, it's the same thing that happened with my youth, to the point I just made her stay home, and just monitored her and gave her, 1 and 2 little concoction, But there's this 5G and all these things that they have, And even with us, when we have to go to the mall and certain places, there's spores, There's a thing where there's a doctor who spoke about it and told you, like, it's not good to be in an enclosed place with people who are, because there's spores that is going off, when they're talking and stuff like that travels, and it does. Yeah. And there's also a doctor who did a study, because, with married couples, one took it and one didn't take it, right? Yeah. So they did a study on a few married couples, and they discovered that the ones that didn't take it, because they were through intercourse, the other person who didn't take it, blood also got contaminated. Yeah, so there's so much devious things going on with this thing, you know. We really have to, and there's a lady I know, the sister was saying about, you know, like we know about our food and stuff that we need to, you know, it's important to grow your own. But what they're also doing is they're spraying the air. They're spraying the air, right? And they're affecting, mashing up people's crops, you know. Yeah. So it's an uphill battle, but we have to do all that we can, you know, as the sister was saying. I yield.
Respect, yeah, man.
True words, brother. True words.
Yeah,
True
next
words.
year, as the summer come next year, I'm going to make sure I baptize my boy myself in the river. So, you know, man can destroy the body, can't destroy your soul. So, yeah, we have to realize that we're living in the last days, and these are things that was prophesied to happen, and they're happening before our very eyes. I believe that if you read the book of Revelation, it talks about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and what will happen. It talks about the famine that's coming, talks about pandemic, talks about death and destruction, talks about war, talks about conquering and to conquer. And I believe that's what we're seeing now. So, you know, it's nothing new to those of us who are acquainted with the word, and regardless of what your feeling may be, but these are things that have been foretold to happen, and they're happening before our eyes. But anyway, that is that. We're gonna go to our enlightenment section now.
Hold on, Willie.
Oh, we
Willie.
have somebody has something to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So
By
yes.
the way, welcome.
Yeah. So in regards to like taking stuff like for the kids and everything, I had to make something that I could help my sisters, my nieces that took that stuff and so. So anyway, so what it is that you take like 3 oranges, 3 grapefruits, and 3 lemons, and you just cut them up small and you put them in a pot, cover it. You don't have to put any water at that time, and just let it steam out and get soft, you know, let it just melt. Then you strain it out and you can keep that thing. And what you can get is to get the chlorine dioxide. It's a A and a B, and you will see how to mix it. So if you make 1 bottle, you can at least put the 3 drops. So you would put 3 drops of A, 3 drops of B, and you will let it stay in the container for like 30 minutes, depending on which one you buy, right? And after that, the color will change. It will come clear. And when it does come clear, you will put it in that drink. And then you can also get the zinc. So I put the zinc in there, and I put the chlorine dioxide in there with that mixture there, and it is good. So I have it there. I just made 4 bottles there again. So, and it works well if your stomach is hurting you. My family just come down, Auntie, why not? I know feeling good. Why not? I know feeling good. So I just give them 1 little shot, a few 8 tablespoons like that, and they okay. So I had to take care of those that got sick after they were, you know, they got that thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
so
that is just the same.
you say you use the orange and the
Yeah, so 3
grapefruit.
oranges, 3 of each. 3 oranges, 3 grapefruits, and 3 what did I say? Oranges, grapefruit, and lemons. So you don't put water in it, you just put it in the pot and you just cover it. So you'll just leave it boil. Don't
them with the juice in them, like
skin, everything. All right, and you just put it in your pot and you just cover your pot because it have water in it. It will sip out all the water and all that is in the skin, right? So you're making a medicine there, and you can bottle it. I just leave it like under my sink counter. The stronger it gets, the better it
something
gets.
else apart from the orange and the
The
grapefruit.
A and the B, so chlorine dioxide. You have to mix
dioxide,
it. Yeah, it will come in 2 bottles, an A and a B. You have to mix them together. So I have been taking that all the time. That is very good for you. So you mix them together, right? So if it's 1 drop of A, 1 drop of B, it have to be equal. and you will leave it, let it settle for 30 minutes if that's what the bottle, if that's what you buy. It have one that will say 5 minutes if you get that one. So if you put in 3 of A, it's 3 of B, and you leave it, the color will change. When you pour it together, it will be kind of orange, but after you leave it a while, it will clear up. That means it's good, so you can decide. That's what I put in my water all the time. And get your zinc. So get this liquid zinc, and you can put, so if you make just a regular bottle, just put 3 drops of each, but make sure you mix it together before you put it into the main thing. So it's 1 drop of A or 1 drop. So it has to be equal, 3A or and 3B. So that's what I have been using. So yes,
that's good for what?
Oh, it's good for everything practically as far as I come in to see.
And how much of the liquid zinc do you put?
The zinc, if it's just
same thing.
Yeah.
And the chlorine.
Depend on the bottle. I just choose to. I do 7 drops because for 1 cup, when I take my water in the morning and stuff, I put like 7 drops, so 7 of each, and I take it. Yeah, I saw there was this fellow who had some sort of cancer on his skin, and he was showing how is the A and the B that he used. So he was on a real good a regimen. He did it for himself and he healed himself. So he was showing that some time ago.
Is it 7 drops of zinc, you said?
No, you can do that. Not the zinc, the dioxide, chlorine dioxide. So if you put in 7 of the A, you have to put 7 of the B. So it have to be equal to get it mixed properly.
A and B or A and D?
A B. B like in Bob.
Okay. A and B.
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
just
that's what,
ordered
liquid
it.
as well? Or
They have to, liquid. Yeah.
Chlorine
I always go for
dioxide,
liquid.
A and B liquid.
Yeah. And get your
okay. It's the same as the chlorine dioxide. Okay.
And get your zinc. So those 3 things combined together. You're making a concoction for the virus, they say, but I call it a cold. So for stomach ache and different things. Yeah.
I think that's how they make hydrochlorophyll with the grapefruit and that
stuff.
Hydrochlorophyll for the COVID.
Yeah.
And you say what? You steam it until it melts until it melt out.
It gets very soft so that you can just squeeze it. You take all the water out in it. You know? Right. Squeeze it nice. I just squeeze it and I crush it. I make sure and don't open it. Once you put it to boil, don't open it until it is boiled and it cool off.
How long you think?
How long? Yeah.
I just leave that maybe an hour, or depending on how high you put it. I don't put it too high because I don't want to just boil it like that. You just until.
Lovely. All right,
It
Mike.
is good. My grandson is taking it, and yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that tip. Mike, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, that was good. Willie, for your son, try to stay away from any processed food, flour, sugar. Try to, for now, eliminate all of that. Because that's a problem for us, period, but especially when the immune system is compromised. And we need to go towards an alkaline diet. So avoid beef, which is very acidic. Make sure he's drinking loads of water. But get rid of all the treats that contain sugar, flour, and other processed stuff. That should help from experience, okay?
And also cheese and milk.
Oh, yeah. By the way, people, that's a good point. We should never drink milk because we're not cows. Not even cows drink milk. You remember, the calf drink the milk, but you say the cow don't drink the milk. Human beings are not cows, so we should not drink milk. Mucus. We should not eat cheese. Mucus.
True,
right?
it's true. As I touch them thing, I start coughing convulsively.
By the way, you see the Jamaican bun and cheese culture? After your garbage, people eat that time of year, especially the processed cheese. So we have to look at tradition and update our information and start making some changes in our lives, you know. I hear. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that next tip. So avoid certain things.
Yeah, almost everything manufactured,
Yeah, processed.
processed.
It just let me tell you something. This week I had some I did some turmeric with the tin what do you call the peas there? What are peas name? It's kind of round and creamish. Chickpeas. She turmeric it with some, and she made some something like roti flour. And let me tell you something. It was like somebody was digging down my stomach. I had to take charcoal. I had to just, oh my God. And then the next day, when I feel piece of the leftovers, I could use that and bust a man head over the something tough. I may say 4 hours stomach. Go through all of this to process these things. These are, I wonder if it's real thing or it's plastic we're eating. It was
It's because
horrible.
of the flour. It's the flour.
The flour, it's no good. That's what I'm saying. It's horrible. So I said, let us go back to eating maybe some provisions and all of that, grown provision, because these things, these processed things, it's deadly. Yeah, deadly. Anyway, we're gonna move on now.
Yeah, hey, people.
From
Sorry,
go ahead. The
Willie.
last person is Rasta.
No, before.
You see, you see it,
Mike
you
is
see,
still at
you
the
see
hand up.
any.
You didn't yield the floor.
No, I just put back my hand up.
Let's
Sorry,
Rasta
I'm
with
just
and
gonna
then
say
you
a
go
quick
ahead.
thing. That's all. I'm just gonna share a quick thing that anytime you want to find out about certain foods, you throw it and put it out for a dog. And let me tell you, a dog will not touch it. Yeah, you put out a saya and them something there. The dog will never eat it.
And they when they bird them, they name the little crave one. And them name the seagull.
Yeah.
He had a problem
So you know,
fighting to get piece of turkey bacon today in his mouth, and I said, you know, him drop it about 10 times. I tried for solid, but he couldn't go down.
Yeah,
It's
man,
true.
as bad as dog is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I yield. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
man.
Mike.
All right, make it brief because we're going on to our
Yeah,
enlightenment.
very brief.
Yeah.
I studied massage in the martial arts club, the Kung Fu club, for 18 years, right?
Yeah.
So my master introduced to Canada something called muscle tracing. If you Google the Institute of Muscle Tracing, that is what I learned, right? Yeah. What I'm saying, people, our body is congested. Here are the main points. Your calf is usually very tight. Your foot bottom, very tight, right? And along your spinal cord. Never massage the spinal cord itself. Very dangerous, but either side, right? Oh. I have a feeling, Willie, your son's body has got some blockages as far as the muscle tightening up. So if you know how to do the massage, it's not hard. You might even feel the knots yourself. Or if you have an insurance where you can get a proper massage from an RMT, we don't massage our bodies sufficiently, people. And it's the way of improving the circulation, re-stretching tendons, whatever it is, because a lot of times when we have pain, it's because of constriction in the muscle, you know. So a massage is really a healthy way to get the body going again, you know, the immune system and everything, right? Okay? Right. All right.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so people, we're always from 9 to about 10. We have we're gonna use it, that time to maybe a lecture, a video that is along the line of our sovereignty. We want to keep to that and enlightenment. And so this is a good book if you can get it. It says you know something is wrong when. Hold on, this is part 5. No, was that part 4? Where's part 4? Come on. I wanted part 4. So where's part 4? Oh, great, it's there. This one. All right, so let's go. Here we go. Are you
Redefine how you experience fragrance with Airwick Essential Mist.
Are you hearing?
We heard you. We heard you.
Yes.
Did you hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You know something is wrong when an American Affidavit of Probable Cause. Part 4. Moving on. The Titles of Nobility Amendment, 1810 to 1819. If any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall without the consent of Congress accept and retain any present, pension, office of emolument, of any kind whatever, from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them, or either of them. It took almost 9 years, but on the 12th of March, 1819, Virginia became the 13th and final state required to ratify this amendment to the Constitution for the United States of America, not to be confused with the much later look-alike, sound-alike, corporate Constitution of the United States of America. The Titles of Nobility Amendment added a strict, specific, and enforceable penalty for violations of the already existing constitutional prohibition in Article 1, Section 9, Clause E, loss of citizenship and inability to hold public office. So what are all these district courts and state courts inhabited by black-robed, bar-membered judges and attorneys sporting the title Esquire? They are private courts operated in foreign jurisdictions by undeclared foreign agents. The American Bar Association has a treaty allowing it to function on American soil, which it has grossly abused. What appears to be state statutes are issued under private copyright. Public documents are all public domain and cannot be copyrighted. The take-home news for American state citizens is that no member of the Bar Association can occupy any public office associated with you, nor your state on the land, nor the continental United States in general. If a Bar Association member is associated with any action pretending or having actual impact upon you or the land jurisdiction on the continental United States, that action is null and void. None of the courts you commonly see rampaging around issuing charges and handing out orders have jurisdiction over your person or your property. No act of any version of Congress or state legislature tainted by members of the Bar Association can be applied to you. Who do bar members work for? The Bar Association members can work for the federal United States and for the Washington, D.C. municipality and the United Nations city-state, and all these foreign governments have created franchises that they operate under your given name. They regularly attack these franchises and make false claims that seem to be addressed to you, a purposeful deceit called personage. But in fact, by maxim of law, those who create franchises are responsible for all debts and upkeep costs of those franchises. Note the crimes involved. Personage. The crime of knowingly misrepresenting a living man or woman as a legal fiction, some form of corporation such as a trust, public utility, or foundation. For example, knowingly miscategorizing a living woman named Elizabeth Arden as if she were a corporate design company known as Elizabeth Arden, Inc. is a crime of personage. Barratry. Yes, named after the Bar Association for good reason. The crime of knowingly bringing false claims and charges based on personage in order to use foreign statutory law against living people. These two crimes are routinely practiced by members of the Bar Associations worldwide to inflict unjust punishments, defraud people of property, and to raise money for themselves and the banks they work for. The American Bar Association has violated their corporate charters, the Smith Act, and the Taft-Hartley Act with impunity. Fearing retribution, nobody has had the guts enough to take them on and expose their criminality. Where the big confusion starts. There are living people born on the land of the 50 states united, who are civilian inhabitants of the organic states known to be birthright citizens of the continental United States. People who are owed all the guarantees of the Constitution, a republican form of government, and full enjoyment of their natural rights. There are living people who were either born in federal territories or who are defined as federal United States citizens by default, contract, or treaty, who operate under the international jurisdiction of the sea as part of a democracy. They have only civil rights, which are granted or taken away by members of Congress. There are legal fiction persons, millions of them named after living American state citizens, all routinely called U.S. citizens or United States citizens. We have the actual organic states, and we have the states and states that only exist on paper. We have actual people who are citizens or citizens, and we have all sorts of legal fiction entities that are being passed off as citizens, and you asleep at the wheel. Who is responsible? It's a long list. The Holy See and the Vatican and all the popes since 1845, the British monarchs since 1845, the Crown Commercial Conglomerate since 1845, the Crown Temple and Bar Associations since 1845, the U.S. Army since 1863, the Joint Chiefs of Staff since 1944, the United Nations and the Secretary General since 1944, the United Nations since 1943, the Federal Reserve Association since 1911, the Federal Reserve System since 1913, the World Bank and International Bank of Reconstructions and Development since 1930 international and 1933 domestic, the International Monetary Fund since 1944, the Vatican Bank since 1930, the Bank of International Settlement since 1944, the United States of America Inc. since 1868, the United States Inc. since 1944, the Federal Reserve since 2011, the United States of America Inc. since 2013, the members of the United States Congress since 1861, the members of the United States Congress since 1933, the Congress of the United States of America since 1868, and all presidents since Lincoln, except Garfield and Kennedy. Note: legalese caused the confusion. Only people can be American state citizens. Living people have appellations, not names. Only things have names. Also, living people have autographs. Only corporate officers have signatures. Also, in law, people are either described as, for example, John Quincy of the House of Adams, or denoted by the use of all small letters, as in John Quincy Adams. This doesn't agree with what you've been taught to think and do and say, but it is of vital importance to know. In legal parlance, the style in which a name is written tells lawyers what it is. Legal styles of names. A name, appellation, of a living man or woman is written in all small letters. John Quincy Adams. A name written in all capital letters can only be one of two things: a corporation of some kind, or a dead man's estate. Purchase a hard copy of this book at Amazon.com
Um, let's have a brief discussion on it. Do you all understand the confusion and the deception? You know, I remember when I was trying to start a corporation, one of the things that they tell you to do is get incorporated, but you have to do a search to make sure so if you have KFC, you can't have anything come close to it or even sound like it. Kentucky Fried Chicken, you cannot have anything close like it. Yet, these bar association people was able to hijack the United States Inc. turn to and mix it up with the United States of America. Because even as you listen there a while ago, if you don't listen carefully, you're not sure what she's saying because you have the United States major, the United States minor, the United States, the United States of America, and even sometimes it is still called the United States of America. I mean, the craziness and everybody seemed to have been sleeping at the wheel for even the very confusion what they have allowed to occur. Where was everybody all this time? That should have been saying no. They're gonna mix up the people. You cannot call it the United States because we already have the United States of America, which deals with the sovereign citizens and we deal with the particular constitution that provide the 19 services. But everybody seems to have been just allowed the Bar Association and all these corporations that she mentioned to just muddle up everybody and mix us up and tie down us to all these statutes and these not even you can't call them laws and create a bugger and just create a maze and wrap people in it now in the matrix.
Not even statutes.
My gosh, man. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So they have allowed these people to just take over. Nobody seemed to have been saying anything. And they create this legalese and this confusion that you don't even know what the hell you're talking about if you're saying the United States. Because I used to thought that they just called America versus I didn't know that America and United States was different. But it's different. Because one represent the Republican, one represent the Republican form of government creates the sovereign, we the people, the Republican form of government creates the government, say, hey, provide us with 19 service based on the Constitution. Okay, they get in power. Little by little, they now start changing up things and moving it from a Republican form of government to corporations, and the corporation make these statutes and these codes, and then they bind you to it. You're getting in front of a court. The only time a person
statutes and limitation.
yeah, the only time you are supposed to be in front of a judge is when you have done some real harm to somebody. Not based on these made up some people just sit down at a table and just write up something that come to them head and just say you have to keep them. The Federal Reserve, all of these places that they mentioned, they were just taken over by these corporations and then bind everybody and trap everybody. So you have to get this, and you have to pay this tax, and they milk the population. My God. Where's everybody? And it's still happening today, although the curtain is now being rolled back, and people is now understanding the fraud that we're under, the biggest fraud that we can do. Then they take their time, they change your regular name, what is supposed to be written in some common letters, to show that you're a living being, and they turn it in capital letters to say you are an incorporated. So that's why you have to pay them tax, and oh my gosh, the list is endless. Anyway, it is just disturbing that we have allowed things to go so far. What are your thoughts? floor is open. Because we could go on to the other one for 24 minutes, but I just thought we'd stop there. Anything anybody
Because
else
of
want
your
to say?
lovely, it's because of your lovely parent patria.
What does that mean? Define that for us, because not everybody may be understanding of those terminologies. What would you call the parents patria? How would you explain it?
Well, the fact that the government, or in 1666, when Queen Elizabeth deemed everyone as dead status, and the corporation has incorporated us, and they've created the Sescove Q Trust for us. Once you're born on the planet, then this is all created with the birth certificate, and under those clause, then you are the minor, so therefore they're your parents and you're the children. So that's just a brief description as to, what level they're operating on.
And yes, thank you for that explanation. In addition to that, I heard that how it first came about, the parents patria, where the government is your parent. Is that when a lady back then don't want the baby, she would just take the baby to maybe a particular like a church or one of those institutions, and they would leave that baby and just walk away, and then the parent, some governmental agency would take that baby and then care for it, and it become the ward of the state. And so that's where the idea came from, and then they build on that now, and has turned us into ward of the states and the peer. That's why you have to be careful how you talk hard to your children. If you scold them, you have to be careful. So even today, I was talking to a lady from England, and she said even at this age, she said it's about from 2008. She'd been fighting to keep her grandchildren because they killed the mother, and they're trying to take away the children from her, and the children are about 14 to 16 now, and they're still at it, so they just think they have a right to your children, and that is how they are functioning today, because I understand that once they take away your child, they go to dip in that same cesticate trust that we're talking about that's made of your birth certificate, and they dip their hands in it. It's $3 million from the father, $3 million from the mother, and so that you get a bonus whenever you bring in a child, and the CPS worker get big bonus when they get a case open, or they get a child taken away from the parents. And by right, the Constitution says that whenever you have any problem with a parent not being a good parent, you're supposed to but let me ask, what are you supposed to do? What is the government supposed to do when there's a bad parent? Anybody knows? Say you have a bad parent who is not doing well with the children. What is the government, if they intervene, what are they supposed to do? Do you know?
They can take care of the children.
Huh?
Take it away.
No.
Well, we need to take ourselves away from them.
That's right.
No, but I'm asking the question: what is up when there's a bad parent and the government have to intervene, which sometimes happens? What are they supposed to do? Nobody knows.
Essentially,
what about talking to the community and see if the community will look after the child?
You come close, but or you reach a community. Why?
For other family members or so.
There
Isn't
you
that
go.
the same?
There you go. No, it's different. Community strangers, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, you go to the next of kin, who you find the most fit parents to a family member to give that child to. But is that what they're doing today?
Nope.
Okay.
Because they're not being honored, so they're not even parents in the first place.
We have to also look in cases where mothers were raped with their husband's brother or their fathers. How do you live with a child knowing how everything came about? Some people can't live with that. So that is why they would probably give up the child.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to give it to a family member because they don't want everybody to know that they were raped by this person.
But
They
you
feel
think it's
embarrassed.
yeah, but is it really think about it though? Is it as you mentioned that? Is it the child's fault that
No,
they came in the world based on a man who or a woman who couldn't control him or herself?
no, it's not. But you have to be in that state of mind, in that parent, in that mother's state of mind at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening to her, what emotion she is going through.
Mm-hmm. But you know, those are
That's why the state is involved sometimes.
You know what it is too also? Because I know somebody who went through that. And you see, just seeing the child is a constant reminder
yes,
of
Yes.
what happened.
Yeah,
And
the
it's
reenaction. Yes.
yeah, and it's like the mother feels as if the child knows everything that happened. So it's like they don't want to look on that child, and they don't want that child around them.
You hit the nail on the head, my brother. Wow.
It's a serious thing, man. It's a serious thing.
It's true. A lot of ladies got, well, put it this way, they weren't ready and the gentleman take them by force and bam, there's a pregnancy. And then that child now, that girl's now, her life is messed up. Maybe she was in school, she was young, she was 14, 15, 16. And then she has to be struggling with the idea of abortion. And eventually she may just have the child. But when as you rightly say, when she looks at the child, worse if the child gonna look like the daddy. Whoa!
Yeah.
But then
which generally happens.
Yeah. And so she grow with a resentment towards that child, and no matter what she does, she can never love the child. And
So,
wow. And
point of interest,
yeah.
Willie, I suppose this is I guess this would be the explanation of why, I guess the queen or the monarchy there and the government, they're disgusted by what they've done to Africa, raping Africa. So I suppose they are disgusted to see us because it reminds them of what they've done.
I always say that too.
It's true.
Yeah, because
that's a good point you bring up.
Yeah, look
That's
here.
a good point.
Who is supposed to be? Look at how the police treat we as a people, right? Who is supposed to be angry when you look back in history? Now we supposed to be the ones who are angry and try to turn around and take revenge. No, but they have to see us and we remind them of their evil and their wickedness. So they constantly try to just get us maybe to start a revolution so that it give them reason. Because even from the other day, I just noticed they have been doing a lot of wickedness and just killing innocent people from before even George Floyd. But now it is more blatant, and maybe they want to give I remember some time ago when they killed this girl named Sandra Bland, and I with my little limited knowledge, I said, then why you people don't have gun? Why you don't shoot back and fight? They said, sir, we tried that one time. And in one day, 3,000 of us they killed. So it doesn't make sense to say I go at war with them because they just want a reason to kill more people. So they constantly...
Yeah, man. They have a policy, eh? They have a policy, If you retaliate, against them, they have to make an example out of you. They cannot let you live. They have a policy, man. That's why even if you see there was one time there was a guy who had hurt one and two of them, and then he took a hostage and went up into a cottage with the hostage. And I don't remember they burned down the whole cottage with him and the hostage in there. There's no compromise, Once you go up against them, they have to make an example, And it's so sad because, that's why the unity is needed. Because they pick off people because you have one person stand up, And that's why it's so easy to. But if we stood up as a body of people, man, them have to run. Yeah.
Go ahead,
And you know
Michael.
what's so funny, Willie?
Wait on now. Yeah,
There
go
is more of us. There is more of us than there is of them.
You think so?
Yes, there is more of us than there is of them.
But they're more well armed, aren't they?
Well, they were always more well armed, you know. From but that never stopped us before, you know. But time will tell.
Yeah.
I yield.
Yeah, I yield. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, we have to watch the worldwide scam where citizens can't really get guns and gun permits and stuff like that, right? And every time there's a mass shooting, what do? They try to take away the guns from the citizens, right? Jamaica, for example, it is extremely difficult to get permit for a gun, you know? And Justin Trudeau, in the last several months, even recently, circumvented Parliament to restrict Canadians from getting guns, right? So once they disarm us, then they're in total control. Now, recently, for those of you who are not in Canada, 6 police officers got murdered in quick succession. And every time that happens, they start talking about the guns and border and stuff like that. Anyway, there is an advocate, a maroon advocate named Louis Marsh. And he made a very good point. You know, you can do all of these things, but what about the open border? The guns are coming from the United States, right? So what are you doing to and Jamaica the same thing. What are you doing to track that, right? You know, and he made a point which is interesting. We used to talk about the roots of youth violence. He went back to the seed. His term was the seed. You can't go to the root because we know if you plant that seed, the roots start right? And I like that. I learned something last week when I heard him talk about the seed. We got to go deep with this thing, people. We got to go so deep to. It's almost as if we have to reinvent ourselves and our families in terms of education to know self, you know? Because I think it's a lack of knowledge of self and history, and to know that we're kings and queens, why we're suffering from the remnants of the mental slavery. Let me say this in terms of look-alike. I was a victim because I'm the dead stamp of my father, right? And trust me, man, I'm my mom is approaching 90. I'm still paying the price, people, because you wouldn't believe my life in terms of how my mom abused me verbally, man. So I live that life, you know. I live that life.
Welcome to the club.
It's true.
Welcome to the club, Michael.
Oh, really? You're one of them too?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Don't bother make me start.
I the same thing you say, you know. That's one thing my mother, she always used to say. And Kupan him to look just like him, Papa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom, just by way of self-disclosure, my father was a 35-year-old bus driver, JOS bus in Jamaica. Some of you might have known about it. And my mother was 16 going to Marygrove.
Wow.
16 to 35. Never ready for no baby yet. And my father get her pregnant. And as them say, the rest is history. Cause you know, say, yeah, think about abortion, yeah, think about all kind of something. And like a 16-year-old picking them not ready for no baby yet. So, you know, I'm one of the product of that. And that's why, and the worst part of it, I didn't grow with her. And when I found her was when things were really getting bad in Jonestown. Like every day during the 1970s and 1979 and 80, I was there. When every day somebody get gunned down, whole woman, dog, dead. Once your name PMP and the JLP, them come up and down our trench town, remind them I kill everything, so I have to sleep on the roadside. And I said, no, sir, I can't stay on this. You see a friend, them are dead, them are missing, I never find them in a crocus bag. And I leave there, go search for my mother. And from that, we're trying to gel, never gel. Cause you see, when you not grow with somebody, it's a different thing. Yeah.
A serious
and even
thing.
today, we still sometimes we're trying to love, but it's like it just can't work, you know. So it is a
But
terrible thing, gentlemen,
but
when
you
a
know what?
woman,
You know the good thing will come out of it, Willie
yeah.
and
You.
and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you said nobody no love like we.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Me deal with my sons, them totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
say that's what made me get into the field of working with youth and children and all these things
Mm-hmm.
was because of that. I felt like I wasn't loved as a child, and I never wanted the next child to feel that way.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I grew with my grandmother still. And because of that, growing up and seeing people with their mother and father, I used to be very angry, brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me used to want to know where my mother and father are there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
When the first, remember when me come up here, man, I meet my mother and my father at the airport, and my grandmother, one of my grandmother bring me up, and my father slapped me and said, "Boy, say hi to your mother, boy."
Wow.
I tell you,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then him look for me, my father look for me and say, "Who you want to live with? Your mother or me?" And I said, "I want to live with Granny."
That was the right answer.
Yeah. And none of them never like me for that. I said, when I come up about 6 months, me live down off of King Street downtown with my one of my grandmother. Yeah, man. And when them finally get me, when one of them get me just go from one to the other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so, may I tell you, Bridget, but may I tell you, say, that's why with my youth, them, me can tell you this. From me born till this day, me never hear my father tell me, say, boy, I love you, or I love you, son, or, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And me I tell you this, Bridget, I ran to tell my son and my daughter them, I hug them up and make them know, say, yo, love them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
is excellent.
Yeah, man.
Let me mention a point which is often overlooked, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Canadian immigration policy separated the Caribbean family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, if you notice what's going on in Canada right now, although it's still a process, people from India, Pakistan, and those parts of the world, they're able to bring the entire family, especially the grandparents in the household, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you this. Our generation from the 70s and before in Canada, we were robbed of getting proper mentorship from the grandparents because they had so much oral history. They had so much ways of teaching respect and consideration, you know, manners and all of them things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what basically happened is the guardians or the parents, to survive, they were not really home to really deal with the kids because they needed jobs. So there's a name for the children who raise themselves. I forgot what them call them. You probably know it in the social field, right? These were kids who, when them come from school, there was nobody there to supervise homework or even supervise them, right? Because the parents had to hustle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been traumatized in so many ways in Canada. And I'm one of the free people that who burn out the government and the loyalty to the Liberal Party by Black people. Listen, man, you shouldn't be loyal to any political party. Loyal to the rep who does something for your neighborhood, you know? But we don't learn. We just don't learn, you know? Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is funny though, God have a awesome sense of humor, do you know? Because in my case, I have other brothers and sisters.
Life is a series.
Them used to call me Jacket and Westcott.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
My big brother, and that's the only thing I remember when he was small. Watch it like a
Yeah,
jacket
man.
now, like a Westcott. But you know, today God has so blessed me that I am, and I'm not boasting or anything, but I am the only one out of 5 brothers to have attended college. I'm the only one who became a pastor, and today I'm the one that they all know that every little thing as they call me brother this, brother that, brother send me this, brother send me that, brother help me with this, brother help me with that. It's peer brother now me get, and sometimes I have to say on a bro to know. When me did small on me was jacket, but now me a brother every other word a brother. You know? But
The jacket have money now.
the
Jackie, that
jacket,
money.
and even money, you know,
The
the
jacket have
jacket,
suit,
they are
jacket
foreign
on suit.
now. So, you know, so when you're there at Jamaica, and one of them will say, brother, beg you, brother, give me something. You will give him 500 or 1,000. You're there foreign now. You're not going to say, you're saying now $10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 15,000. And them way they are do it. Brother, help me start on business. You send 30,000 them way there. So now, brother, precious. But you see, that's why I don't know, like some people on this platform may not like it when me go to the Bible. You know, me have to go to the Bible now because the Bible say, you know, when your mother and your father forsake you, the Lord will
Forsake
take you
you.
up. And it says the
Yeah,
stone which
man.
the builder refuse shall become
Use
the head of the
head
cornerstone. Head
cornerstone.
cornerstone. So all when me have a Bible text for every situation because the Bible is it cut you like a two-edged sword, right? It has an
Yeah.
answer for everything. Cause the me and this so-called jacket, and today I am the one everybody look to and sweet up and nice up for help out with this and that. So I was, I you know what say, regardless of that, me still love them and me still treat them nice. Me still treat them good. Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Always.
So I am blessed. So me have to give the Father thanks. So despite everything where I come from afar, we're still blessed. You understand?
Yeah, I think we all have one of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
I know, eh? Yeah, man,
And
that's
the
true, man.
sad part in my situation though is, boy, I mean, I know it's like something that come like, it's like certain, it's like there's some pastor that call it a generational curse. Because I now have a situation where my first son, with my first wife, me and her break up, and you know, she has decided from 2010, you know, she cut off the little boy from me. I don't know where to find him. I do everything. You name it, I've done it. Susan Show, me do it. Lawyer, me do it. Um, going to the for information, access to information, me do it. Name it, I've done it. And I cannot find where this little boy is. And it's the same thing that reached me where I did not have the love of a father and a mother when I was growing up. And the same, well, he has probably the mother, so at least that. But you see, a boy for me need the balance of his father because with my stable home now with my two kids and my wife, I see where if I was not around, may I tell you the truth, with due respect to the ladies, a woman cannot by herself grow a boy child and balance him properly. And
True.
if you do,
Vice
you are
versa.
one of the very few. That's why God made the man, he's like the disciplinarian. When he discipline him, he run to mama and mama kind of cool him down and soothe him down. And so God make it because one away a lion and one away a lamb. But so when the boys them grow with only mommy alone, them only a grow with the lamb and then come up to be. See, I sometimes I look at up to yesterday, me now and look at church thing where them invite me little boy, I go with him. And when you look at some of the little boys, them there's no manhood you see on them. You just see some little wimpy little girl look
I
on them,
know.
the feminish
Yeah,
look
man,
on them.
them
Go
a
ahead.
what them call the word again, a masticator. I don't know if you say it right.
Effeminate.
Yeah, you know.
Let me make a small point, people. Really, the qualifying word is man. Right now, in too many households, we use the word man too. All right. I would rather a
Man
woman.
too.
How they say
Yeah,
man
man.
too?
Yeah, man.
How say man too?
I mean, say that.
Did I say man too?
No, I mean, I said that.
Oh.
I would rather a woman raise I would rather a woman, a single woman, mother raise a child than have a man to inside of the house, brethren. Some of these waste men inside of the house, them cause more harm to the children. So it's better them just come out of the house, brethren. You understand me? So the qualifying word is having a man and a woman in a partnership in a house.
Of course.
It's not just because you're a male, you have any use inside of the house of people.
No.
True, them are waste man.
Man too.
Yeah, true.
Oh, true.
To be honest with you,
They
people.
were man too. They were man
Yeah. No. To be honest with the people, I'm ashamed to call myself a man when we see what's going on in Toronto right now, because they're not men.
Let me tell you, go ahead, sorry.
Most of these man too, they're very insecure. That's why them gallivant so much trying to find something. I don't never try to find one woman yes or one woman because they're insecurity people. Them go on like them
them not do nothing for themselves.
Exactly. They might try to
They're
find
fulfilling nothing in themselves.
Right. You know, and that's not security, that's insecurity. Right? So them channel that inside of the house. And let me tell you something. I'm of the belief, you see your job now when you deal with the children. Children are bright, you know. Children are so bright people.
Very
we just
bright.
don't deal with them like them because they're young. They're bright.
True, man. True.
And they're picking up everything. Don't think they're not picking up the isms and schisms inside of the house, you know. They just can't communicate and verbalize it. But they're smart enough, and they first of all, because of that innocence of youth, the spirits will pick up those things even quicker than some adults people. And that is why we see adults are traumatized, because it starts from the childhood when they're not getting the proper balance, you know? Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You finished, Mike?
Go ahead.
Finish. Yeah, man.
Mike?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
This you have us as a back that you can use to get in touch with your son. You have a picture of him or the name of the woman or anything. We can do our own research. You never know. We probably know the person.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, network is always a good thing. Yeah, man, I do have that. So yeah, no worries. Let me see.
It's not
Yeah,
a
she
good
could take
thing.
my picture them too, you know.
Willie, this person
It
is in
sounds
Canada.
bad, but
This person is in Canada.
That is the
doesn't
problem.
know.
I wish I
He
knew
doesn't
where
know.
they were, because when I left, she's a pharmacist, and when I left Jamaica,
Tammy.
she she's a pharmacist. When I left Jamaica, she had her own pharmacy with her sister, and then looked like it didn't work, and then she got into some trouble with the government. I don't know how they resolved the matter with the lawyers and whatever, but I would strongly think that maybe she migrated, because most of her sisters were abroad. They migrated and things like that. So I wish I knew, but I
All
have
right.
no
So let me give you a good tip, Willie. If Canadian wise, you see the thing they call the social insurance number? Yeah, man. That's one way of getting get an insider in some of the government agencies. It's not easy, but sometimes we have some contacts like that, right? And they're not supposed to do it, but them can dig up all kind of stuff, Bridget.
It's true when you have insider contact,
Yeah. Just from the social insurance number to identify current address and stuff like that. You understand me?
Yeah.
And don't forget, they file in income tax, right? And the moment they file in the tax in America or Jamaica and whatever, it's tied to a national number, right? So that's one tip I'm giving you, is just to get people who can get to that number to identify. You understand me?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yes, really, we will do whatever. I don't want you to your son to fall in a position like myself. But I grew up with this person as my father, only to find out that he is not. So now I don't know who's my father.
Wow.
At this age, it's like,
yeah.
And the reason I can't find out more detail is my mom has dementia, so she can't remember.
Hold on, let me finish. Wait, the grass, dog. Let you finish. Go ahead,
man. My mom has dementia, and she can't remember who the father is. So one minute she tells me it's this person, the next minute she said no, it's that person, but it has never been the one that I am named after.
Oh.
And
Wow.
he already, when I was 13, he told me that, you know, that you're not my child. And I said, yeah, I can look at us all and all the kids and I know, say I'm different. But she wasn't there at the time, right? Because they both had a fight and he told her not to come back to the house. But yeah, now that I'm big adult with my own everything, she can help me. So, you know, I don't want to see something like that happen to your son. You know, so any networking we can do for you, just let us
Yeah,
know.
because boy, I said to myself every day, I hope so, Father God, let me at least get to see him before I leave depart this earth. You know, it would be sad for me if I never get a chance to hook up with him and at least get to see him and let him understand what was happening. Because you know, some of these ladies too, what they do, they fill their mind with a lot of stuff to get. That's what they did with me. They tell me, "Oh, your mother threw you
They
upon
poison their
sidewalk.
mind.
Before they throw you upon sidewalk when you are 3 months old." And I held that against my mother. No care what she tell me. That was ingrained in me by my brothers that my mother dashed me on sidewalk, and I always have that resentment. And anytime me and her, even though she denied, anytime me and her caught or have anything, me use it for torture. I say, yo, you throw me on sidewalk when me a 3 month old. And me I tell you, say, but no, so no care. You see, when they ingrain those things in the poor kids, and it become fact. But you know, it's part of
So,
the. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ross. David, go
oh no,
ahead.
I was letting you finish. I was letting you finish.
No, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was
I'm done.
saying, Willie, I inherited a woman, right? That I didn't realize until. Yeah, no, just listen to this. We inherit a woman who come from a we inherit a woman who come from a lineage, and I didn't even realize until after the fact. But me have two youth with this woman, and I do same thing like you. Me see them two youth here in how many years. You know what I'm saying? And me I tell you, say, me do everything. Me go to court, even the judge in a court. Even right now, the case is still open. We can go there anytime. Them say any day me find our address, just come back to the court and then we think that then we send a thing there to serve her, you know? The judge said to me, say, this was in Brampton court, you know. The judge said to me, say, me the only man in this family courthouse looking for his children. Not being taken by somebody, you know, but looking. You understand? Yeah, so she said she gonna make sure this just stay open. This must never close, like it, you know? As long as me get an address. But me not tell you from now, you know, no, I cannot find an address or anything, Bridget. And me I tell you this one time, me I tell you, say me I drive and me buck the woman on the road. I want stop sign, you know, man. Me I tell you, so when the woman see me, you know, me I tell you, so me never see nobody drive like that in my life, me I tell you. They said the woman start overtake car and all them something there, you know. And me I tell you, say, me all try follow her, because me I say, yo, me want to see where she go. She probably live around, you know. And me I tell you, brethren, but what me that go share too is me I tell you, say, after this, me find out now, say, she don't know if her father, you know. Me find out, say, the man who she thinks was her father is not her father.
Wow.
Me find out, say, her mother don't know if her father either. Like, the mother, you know, don't know if her own her father, you know. And me find out, say, the grandmother don't know if her father, brethren. So that's what I tell you, say, me inherit a lineage. So it's something that some of them are just doing it purposely. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe that, you know?
Yeah.
I tell you. Because I'm telling you, when I was with this woman, I wasn't really looking to have any more children yet. I had one child at that time, and that child was a little bit grown. And boy, may I tell you, she was just down on me to have it. She just want a boy and a girl from him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the minute that was fulfilled, that was it. That woman that was good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right.
No, we have
what?
We have 15 people on the chat, right?
Yeah.
So if we were to deal with a statistical approach, look how much trauma is being revealed right now with 15 people, right? It has always been my position in Toronto that when we look at stuff like women being raped and never revealing that we're raped to anybody, they've kept this secret or pain inside for life.
Right.
Let me tell you something. We have a rape culture in Toronto, right? Right now, I know 7 people who were either molested at a young age or raped, right? So one man should not even know one woman who's been raped like that. And if I know 7, I'm telling you straight, there is a rape culture in society, right? And usually, from experience, it takes a lot of trust for someone to tell you what happened to them. And I've been fortunate that I was the one that they reveal such thing to for the first time in their life. And let me tell you something, none of these women are 100% people. It's hard. They live in a very tough life because something, our people don't believe in therapy, right? Jamaican people, when it comes on to psychiatrists and counseling, like we're waking up now still, but there was a time it was taboo. So they didn't get any professional help to live themselves. Guess what? They're passing all that trauma down to the next generation people.
Yeah.
So it's not just slavery. It's like everything mixed up right now, Yeah, man, we're done with we just mentioned that. So thanks.
All right, so give me a chance here now. So I'm going to ask for you to. I'm going to share my son, picture and his mom, but I want to do justice to the program by sticking to the time. So I'm going to ask for somebody to move a motion that we bring the program to an end, the official part of the program. Oh boy, this is not over. So can we have a motion?
I move to end the meeting formally.
All right.
I second it.
This seconded. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So good. We have the free section now.
Willie, a quick question.
Yeah, man.
Did anybody? I think there were some visitors, right?
Yeah.
And first time, did anybody get their name and number, a contact for them? And
yeah,
so,
I know Odea.
she
was one, and there's Why Not.
Okay.
I don't know if she's still. Why Not? Are you still there? Maybe she drop asleep.